everyone, it's Marisa from bumblebeeapothecary.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really fun and easy watermelon treat in 2 ways. So it's always fun to have a variety of different treat options, especially for outdoor things, fun things this time of year, where you want just fun but also healthy and easy treats to be able to pass around at parties or just at home. So I'm going to show you how to make 2 different things with watermelon. One is going to be some really easy little watermelon pops, and then also some watermelon slushie. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to start cutting up the watermelon to use for both of these treats. And I'm just going to be slicing it in rings. For the first treat, I'm going to need a bit of a thinner ring, and I'm going to do a few of these until I get enough to be able to make what I'm after, and I'll show you. Okay, so for this first one, I'm going to use some cookie cutters. I have a couple little fun shapes here, and I'm just going to use them to cut shapes out of the watermelon. And if you're going to make both of the treats that I'm about to show you, it's good to make these first, because the leftover parts of the watermelon from cutting these shapes out can be used very easily for the next recipe that I'm going to show you as well. And then the next step is to take a wooden popsicle stick and just stick it in part way so that you'll have a finished little watermelon pop like that. And then I have some natural parchment paper on a cookie sheet, so I'm just going to lay them on there as I put sticks into them. So it's a really nice like popsicle alternative, because what we're going to do next is put these in the freezer, and then it makes it a really nice cool treat, and it's fun to just be able to cut it out of watermelon like this, because watermelon is delicious without doing anything to it. And then anything on a stick I think kids love, so it makes it really fun. But these are really fun for like outdoor barbecues and different things like that, where you want a fun treat that kids can run around with. Okay, so there is the first treat idea. These are just going to go into the freezer, and when they come out, they'll just be delicious little frozen watermelon pops. Usually around 30 minutes in the freezer is enough, so you can make them ahead of time, leave them in there for hours, overnight, but if you're doing it and you need them more quickly, I usually leave at least 30 minutes for them to get nice and frozen. For the next treat, which is watermelon slushie, I'm going to just start by cutting watermelon up into pieces. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or precise, and in fact I'm just going to start taking the scraps from making those watermelon pops and start with that, but all I'm going to do is just add all the different watermelon pieces to a pan, because I want frozen watermelon chunks to blend up and make into a watermelon slushie. I'm going to give these watermelon rinds to my chickens, and they're going to be a really nice treat for them. Something they love to eat. And for these other pieces, I will just go really fast, carefully of course, but just, you know, quickly cut off the rind and then just chunk it up into cubes and toss it on there. So the amount is really up to you, how much you want to end up with, but we're going to be doing about 4 cups of frozen watermelon per batch of slushie once it's all done. So up to you how many of those size batches you want to have watermelon for. I'm probably going to go through and just cut up this whole thing. So I'm just going to continue with this Once I have everything all cut up, then I'm gonna just show you the next step. Okay, so now that I have everything cut up, I have it spread out on 2 pans lined with natural parchment paper. And I'm going to put these into the freezer to get nice and frozen. I usually plan for a number of hours. Minimum, you would want 1 hour for these to be in the freezer because you want them to be nicely frozen through to really work well for the next step. But if you can do a few hours or like half a day, or you can either prep it ahead of time and have it ready for the next day, something like that is better yet, so it's nice and frozen. So I'm gonna stick these into the freezer, and when they're nice and frozen, I will show you the next step. Okay, so our first little recipe is finished, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the watermelon pops out of the freezer. So there they are, all nice and frozen. So they should just pull very nicely up away from the parchment paper, and then they are ready to enjoy. What shape do you want?
I want star.
Okay.
I want heart.
Okay.
Mama.
Which kind do you want?
That one.
A heart? Okay.
Because I love people.
Oh, that's so nice. So nice. Okay, we are ready for our next step for the second watermelon treat, which is the watermelon slushie. So I'm going to start by filling up my blender to the 4-cup mark with my pieces of frozen watermelon. It's a really easy recipe. You really just need the frozen watermelon, 1 or 2 optional ingredients, and you are good to go. I love how it's such a vibrant, fun color when it's finished, just with the color of the watermelon. Okay, looks pretty good. Kind of try to settle it in there. I'm a little bit above the 4-cup mark because there's a lot of air space in there. It's not an exact science, it's really just comes down to what works. The next thing that I'm going to add is some fresh squeezed lemon juice. You can also do lime juice. If I have a preference, I actually prefer limes, but lemons work very well also. Lemons are what I have at the moment. And for amounts, around 1/4 cup of lemon or lime juice. A little less is fine too. And then this next ingredient is entirely optional. You can add some extra sweetener if you want to. This is very much up to personal preference. Some watermelons are sweeter than others. Some people like sweeter or less sweeter flavors. So you can just kind of go by who's eating this and what they would like. So you can add some maple syrup or some raw honey. If you're on GAPS, you'll want to stick with raw honey. And just a few tablespoons or so is good. And then we're gonna go ahead and blend this in the blender to turn it into the slushy consistency. Now, sometimes getting it to blend can be a little bit tricky depending on the blender. So sometimes I'll try a few different settings. Probably start with just the low one for right now. If you have a similar one to mine, then you can try whatever works for you, but I'll try usually like a lower speed at first just to try to get it going. And if it seems like it's kind of stuck, then I'll just open it up and try to move it around a little bit. And that is pretty good right there. For serving it up, you can do little bowls. I have these fancy dessert glasses that I like to put it in. All right, something like that, and then a straw, a spoon, and then I like to do like a little mint leaf garnish. So there we go, a really nice, easy, healthy watermelon slushie. So I hope that you guys try this. I hope that you enjoy it as much as we do. Be sure and check out that description box for links to free ebooks and other goodies. I also have some meal plans down there for you. Let me know what other videos that you would like me to make. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with anybody else who you think would like it, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.